Sappy Lee. I'm your host, Coach Penn, along with the world's greatest co-host, Professor Haas. Today's guest went from undrafted free agent to all-time Super Bowl solo tackle leader, Mr. Gary Brackett.
For having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, that 12 solo tackles, though.
Hey,
yeah.
bro.
On the
Unfortunately, we
biggest
lost,
stage.
man, but we was getting after it.
Yeah, I see that. So you did it with a broken hand, too?
Yeah, man. Funny story. So in that game, Sean Payton was like he playing for keeps, which I don't blame him. So he did a 4th and 1 in the second quarter. They went for it. So I see it. I go over there. I make the tackle. When I'm making the tackle, one of my teammates' helmet hit my hand, so my joint was broke. Right. So halftime we go in. I get some good medicine, right, and I get back out there and get through it.
All right, so can you do our audience the honor of introducing yourself by explaining how you were introduced to football through the time that you know it was time to hang up the cleats?
Yeah, no, that's so I was I had 3 older brothers, and then it was me, then my sister. So grew up in a family of 5. So learned at an early age from my brothers, right? So always being, that fourth man. So I played against older competition my whole life, which really helped my development curve because, I'm tackling high school kids in like 6th grade.
Oh, yeah.
So that's always put me like, an upper echelon, playing against kids my age. High school, 2-way star, running back, linebacker, kick returner, punter, right? So small school, bro, you had to do everything. Did not get drafted, or I did not get a scholarship to the college, so I ended up walking on at Rutgers University. So walk on at Rutgers. My parents find out that I had to pay full tuition, right? I was a recruited walk on, but did not pay. So they refinanced the house twice, right? Paid for my education. The 3rd year came, and they reached out to me. They had no more equity left in the crib. So they was like, hey, man, we're sorry, but, you're going to have to come home. So I tell my coach this, right? And then he told the head coach who brought me into the office, and then he said something that he was like, yo, we're going to recruit players that are bigger, better than Gary Brackett. But you know what? You're one of the hardest workers on the team. So we're going to reward you with a scholarship. And man, I was just so happy, right? You see it now when the walk-ons get scholarship, man. I'm real emotions, bro. Because I was like, I had my 1989 Honda Excel hatchback full to the rim, right? I joined shook at 5. So I was out of there.
Was that Shiano?
Nah, that was a Coach Shea.
Okay, yes.
Coach Shea, right? So then I became a scholarship player, man. And then Coach Shiano came, and then I became a starter, got in shape, and led the Big East tackles. And 2-time MVP, and got opportunity to walk on as a free agent in NFL. Similar type of success. 3rd year became a starter, became a captain with Peyton Manning, and then I was 6 years as a captain, captain of the Super Bowl championship team. And year 9, man, it's crazy. I had my best off season, best shape of my life, and first game of the season, man, I got an interception. I'm running the back. Somebody tackled me. I put my arm down to brace my fall, man. My shoulder come out. So it was a wrap, like interior, exterior, rotated cuff. At the time, I just had my 2nd kid, man, and younger, when I was single, no kids, no family, my mindset was, I'm gonna ride until the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? But then after the 8th surgery, it's just like, man, it's not fair to my family to let the wheels fall off, right? I could be so much more outside the game. So I transitioned, went to school, got my MBA, man, and then, started up my journey being a serial entrepreneur.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of that, you going back to school. A wise man once said, we all have our own toolboxes in life. And we choose the tool of choice. But if you only have a hammer, every situation looks like a nail.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. And it's funny, right? Because so many of us, people like this, right? They MO. Like when you approach them with a situation, you know what they're going to do.
Yes,
You know what I'm
Hammer
saying?
it like a nail.
The hammer, right? That's it. And it's funny now on like TikTok, they got this little game with couples, and they say, "Hey, babe, what you want to eat?" And then they already repeat it. "Hey, babe, what you gonna do this?" And they just repeat them, right? Because they're like, we all program like that. So it's like sometimes we gotta and learn that new program, because if that old program isn't serving as well, man, we gotta update that thing. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, your phone gonna come up with a new update, right? You could not update it if you want to, right? Your phone ain't gonna work no more. And it's same with us in our brains, man. We got to constantly challenge ourselves, to reinvent ourselves, man, because the next stage of our life is going to require a different person.
That's right.
You brought out when you were talking about your story, we talked about something, and there's some people who caught it, and there's probably some who did not, right? You walked on college,
right,
and then free agent. You walked on. It was a recruited walk on, right, in the pros as a free agent, and there's a certain mindset because here's what it is, right? There are going to be more free agents than there are people who are getting drafted.
Yeah.
And there's a certain mindset that you have to have. There's a certain dogness that you gotta be a dog to get on the team. And you know what I'm saying? To really do something and be, like I said, I remember playing with you in Madden, like for real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that, when you tell your story, and I hear that you walked on in college, and then there had to be a time where the switch, you just flipped it, and then it was, and then the same thing in the pros. And so, that is amazing to hear, and I'm glad that you shared that with our audience.
Yeah, I think what people don't realize is that mental is a physical 4-to-1, right? And what I mean by that is so many people are looking at their physical attributes or lack thereof, and they think that's the end all be all, but that's not it. There's so much more to the story that attributes to your success. And for me, being a student of the game, being mentally strong, right? We all gonna face perseverance, but you gonna quit, you gonna bounce back, you gonna cower down, y'all down 30, what you gonna do? You gonna give half-ass effort, or you still gonna go hard? So for me, I was like that dude, like every play could be my last. So I'm out here getting it. And then in terms of the mental fortitude to understand and really, like, I really played football. Like, I really understood what positions, everyone's supposed to be in. And that helped me be a little bit quicker to the ball. And all those little things, right? They're little things, but they add up to make a significant difference. And it's like a recipe for success, right? You model other people's behavior, right? You put in the work, you fall in love with the process, divorce yourself from the outcome, and great things are going to happen.
That's good stuff.
Definitely. Well, hey, man, let's get into, what really makes Mr. Gary Brackett special, right?
Yeah.
You've created a webinar series, Developing a Championship Mindset, and also provided knowledge through your Championship Academy. Can you explain to our audience the mission and what you provide there?
Yeah, so for me, my belief is this, and I've kind of learned this along my journey, right? So now I'm 40, I turned 41 this Sunday. But I think, yeah, appreciate that.
I'm right behind.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I think in life, I think we need to look at it in a more holistic view. So in terms of like our self-development, our career, our business, our fitness and health, our families, our social life, our finances, and our spirituality, right? So for me, those are the 7 pillars in our life. And so many of us are doing really great, probably in one of those areas, maybe even 2. But when you look at some of those other areas, we're dropping the ball. Well, if you're incomplete, if your fitness and health, then nothing else really matters, right? Because a happy person wants thousands of things. A sick person just want one, right? His fitness and health, right? If you're doing all those things and you broke, you don't got no bread, you ain't happy. Right? If you do all those things, you don't got spirituality, you lost, you don't got no fulfillment. So I really think looking at this holistic lifestyle and being a champion in every area of your life. And I think that's what more people have to really realize. Like, you can have the life that you want, right? But you have to design it. And you have to know what it is that you want. And you have to make those steps every single day that's going to take you on that journey to get you there.
That's right.
So, all right. So here, like I say, our goal is to educate and inform. So let's go into Black entrepreneurship, specifically in the inner city communities that's rapidly declined. What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts of the importance of Black entrepreneurship in terms of how it could directly impact the community?
Hey, Coach. Before we jump into that, can we hit something real quick?
Because, go ahead.
Because this man did something that I highly admired. Is that one? He went and got his MBA post playing days. That means one, he already had his bachelor's degree.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the first thing that means.
Yeah.
But secondly, as someone who has their MBA as well, what is that place? So answer that question that Coach Penn just asked, and talk about the how the your MBA helped with that whole entrepreneur mindset.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. Growing up, man, my father was a Vietnam vet, and he was a dude from Camden, New Jersey, right? So rough for a part of New Jersey,
right?
And he was a high school dropout, but I think he had a PhD in common sense. And he would tell me that, yo, if rich people wanted you to know something, they'll put it in a book.
That's right.
Because y'all poor and y'all broke people ain't gonna read this book. And it's amazing to me the knowledge and the accumulation of knowledge that can be gained in a short period of time. Like people took their whole lives to write a book on how they became successful.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me that you're not going to take advantage of that? It's a cheat code. That's so right. I think in terms of Black entrepreneurship, and we could talk about all the things that prohibit us: access to capital, deal flow. There's so many of those things. And I just like to share with people, stop worrying about your resources and start thinking about your resourcefulness. Start thinking about your creativity. Start thinking about your network effect. Start thinking about what solutions you can solve at a high level. And I think when you start thinking like that, you can think of a business that you can create and add value to other people's lives and charge them a price.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So
it's real good stuff.
You've created a 4-part series defining diversity and inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
That brings me to how I was introduced to Mr. Brackett, the businessman. All right. You posted a quote stating, "If I do a job in 30 minutes, it's because I spent 10 years learning how to do that craft in 30 minutes. You owe me for the years, not the minutes." Right? So
deep right there.
I witnessed on a few occasions minority skilled labor entrepreneurs having to underbid in order to compete for contracts. And such. What advice would you give to those relatively new businesses that consistently face situations like that, which may be systemic or just familiarity?
Yeah, that's a great point, man. And the thing is, sometimes quotes aren't always applicable to everyone's situation. So in that particular situation, and that only applies if you're running a business that's not really based on commodities. Because some businesses are, the market dictates what they're going to pay for it. If you're a barber, people only going to pay you so much for cutting your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like my barber is a massive barber, right? And believe it or not, I'm bald, but I pay $60 to get my beard done. But if he charged me 80, I might be like, bruh, I ain't giving you 80. Like 60 is stretch. Yeah. And I'm just gonna assume that you already added a tip in there, right? And you nail my joint, so I rock with you. Yeah. But at some point, I'm gonna go somewhere else, right? Yeah. So, however, I would tell him that, okay, if you were to teach that skill set of how to charge $60 for a haircut to barbers only charging $20, you could then charge them any amount. Yeah. Because now from 20 to 60, that's a $40 increase. Mm-hmm. So now they get 1,000 people a year paying an extra $40. How valuable is that to that barber? That's extremely valuable. Yep. So it's looking at what things that you can offer that does have this enormous amount of value that you can teach and at premium prices. Because the challenge is most people don't really understand their numbers. And it's this thing that I learned in economic school about opportunity cost. And that's like someone will say, "Hey, I got this t-shirt business." All right, bet. Great. What are you doing? Oh, I sold like 200 t-shirts last week. Awesome. How much you buying for? $10. How much you selling for? 20. All right, cool. So 10 times 200, bet you made some money. All right, cool. What was your labor cost? I ain't cost me nothing. I did it myself.
No, that was still labor costs.
Yeah, that was product. Yeah.
What was your labor? You know what I'm saying? How much did you pay yourself to actually put these shirts out? What do you mean?
Amateur.
You could have been working somewhere else. If I could speak, right? I get gigs for 7,500, 10G, right? If I could go speak for an hour and make 10G, what the hell I'm doing printing 200 shirts for?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really understanding your number, understanding your cost, like your real cost. And then you could really factor in like, what's a good business decision? because so many people, right, don't even factor in their costs, and they're making business decisions, based on what they think, and it's not real. So that's why I put pen to paper, really being thorough and detailed about your business will help you get you in position to then offer those type of rates, because like what cost you got into something.
Yeah. I just want to let everybody know. See what you just heard Gary do. That's called managerial economics. That's a class you take when you're getting your MBA. You know what I'm saying? And it takes you through those different things where it talks about supply and demand. You heard him say in there that the market determines the cost. There are certain if that's the business you're going into. So, like I said, that's what I wanted to hear. Thank you, Mr. Brackett, for doing that, because the thing is now, like I said, I'm seeing you putting that MBA to use.
Yeah, no question. And the crazy part, so I have the theory in managerial economics and all the, you know what I'm saying? But I also have the practical, where I actually run businesses. I actually coach business owners. So I see day to day how this, works and how this affects businesses. And, primarily I work at small businesses that are looking to scale their company. And my goal is to teach you how to scale your company that doesn't involve you being there twice as long. I want you there twice as less.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm built my lifestyle to be a laptop CEO. I can go wherever I want and work. Like next week, I'm in San Diego. I got 2 speeches while I'm out there. I bring my laptop, I bring my computer, I'm good. So I feel like, building your lifestyle first and understanding what it is you want to do, and then backing that into a business that you really are proud of, and that you really are working a business, and the business isn't working you.
Gotcha.
That's good stuff.
Well, man, personally, I want to see what the $60 shape up look like.
Hey, I be posting like right after he nailed me, yo. I'm telling you, it's
I gotta get one of them.
So it's color enhancement, right? So I'm a little older, so it's a little bit more grays in the beard, right? So it's a little, you know what I'm saying? The chicks got the weaves and the eyelashes, you know what I'm saying? We got a little Beijing, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Hey,
we gotta even up the playing field.
Hey, I tried that last week.
Hey,
it went all wrong though.
Yeah, your beard too light, man. Your Beijing, you gonna have your joint look like it's painted on, bro.
Hey, I laid down for a minute. My whole Beijing was on my pillow, man.
I will say this is I've been blessed, and truthfully, I'm actually looking forward to the salt and pepper. I don't have it yet, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, at 43, I'm sure it'll come in here pretty soon.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I accept it though. I got the little, you know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at yours and I like that. I was like, that.
Yeah.
I got two right here, right? Just 2 little strings. And then if I shave that down, then they fall out. I'm like, man.
Yeah, I'm not 40 yet. When I get 40, I'll have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on record also saying that your goal is to be more Christ-like and less Christian. Can you explain that?
Yeah, man. I heard TD Jakes say this, man, and it really struck a nerve, because I really be feeling some type of way depending on what church I go to and how they operate, right? And TD Jakes was like, yo, if Christ came back and went to the church, you'll have to explain to him the deacon board. Like, you'll have to explain to him, like, the VIP parking spots. You'll have to explain to him, you know what I'm saying, seating assignments and seating charts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to explain to him how we currently practice Christianity in some churches. Because it got so politicized, and so many people hang their hat on, yo, I'm a good church member, I'm a good Christian, but they forgot to be good people. And for me, it's just like, yo, I don't have to go to church to operate like a church. Like my mom would always tell us, like, the greatest among us will serve. And for me, it's just like understanding that, but now I kind of remixed a little bit, because I realized that if you're not fulfilled yourself, like when you're serving, you're doing people a disservice, because you're giving people backwash. You know what I'm saying? So for me, fulfillment first, then serve is just like my ability to fill my cup, and it's running over. And then all the access, I'm giving you some great stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly training myself, developing new skills, because I constantly want to add value to people's lives. And I think by doing that, that's a way of serving. And that's a way of being more Christ-like. as opposed to being a Christian, just telling every Sunday I throw on some clothes, I go to church. You know what I'm saying? I go to my assigned seat. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like so many people forget like the goal, right? And the goal is to be a good human being. The goal isn't to say like, yo, I went to church. Like God ain't gonna be up there with a roster and be like, yo, I saw you miss a couple services. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He gonna be up there like, yo, what you do? Like on Tuesday night, like where was you at? How would you help? You had these gifts, you ain't put the use. Like, nah, bro. Like, yeah, you was at church, good for you, but you ain't do nothing with the gifts I gave you.
Well, yeah, and being Christ-like it's all about serving, right? I mean, the thing is you know, and I as a deacon myself, you know, one of the things about it is I love to serve. Right? That's my natural bent in life. Is servanthood, servant leadership. Like I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for servant leadership, I wouldn't be a leader at all. You know, and that's the thing. I think people lose that is, you know, when they get into leadership, even in the church, that and really leadership period is about serving the people that follow you. And if when you lose touch with that, then you lose touch with it all, and you especially lose touch with Christ. You know, I'm not gonna go too deep in that because I get to preaching up in here and just you hit it right on the knob. It's all about servanthood.
Nah, no question, man.
So back to you know, minority and inner city businesses. You know, it's so important for us to support each other. You know, and they say that's what's really lacking. 8 out of 10 businesses, well, black businesses, you know, they don't survive longer than 18 months. You know, mainly because of the support that we put into it and the community backing it. You know, that's why I asked you about the question about, you know, the importance of black businesses in communities and what it can and how it can impact the community. You get what I'm saying? So let's go back to that. Like I say, so back Professor Haas went to University of Tulsa. That's where he graduated from. So he was you know, firsthand on what was he was firsthand with Black Wall Street, you know, and how that thrived. You know, what do we need to do to get back to that in your perspective?
Man, that's so I think you mentioned a little bit about the diversity and inclusion, right?
Yes, sir.
And some of the systematic oppression and racism that took place, right?
That's what I'm trying to get out of there. Yep.
So like I did a show and I talked about the Willie Lynch letters. You know what I'm saying? So now they're saying that the letters didn't exist and it was written after the fact, right? Regardless of if he said it or he didn't say it,
right?
That's the mentality that they had, right?
That's right.
And that mentality was to put young against old, to put light skin against dark skin, to put men against women, and the biggest, baddest dude, they wanted to beat him down, embarrass him in front of everybody else, to keep everyone in their place and working at these jobs. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people are in our hood, right? We throw parties for people like going to jail, coming home for jail, but we don't throw parties for people who are opening up and starting businesses.
That's right.
Like, what sense does that make? And I think until we start collectively understanding our power and utilizing that power to help one another, I think we're never going to be in a part to really unite and show our real true economic empower. But I also would say a caveat, right? You also have to treat your business as a business. Like just because I'm Black, I'm not going to support your business because it's Black. I'm going to give you an ample opportunity, a chance to do right. If you're not running good business practices, someone's not going to support you anyway. So I think for those individuals, I really want to say educate yourself on the proper practices of business. So many people are practitioners, meaning that they know how to cut hair, right? They know how to run lines. They know how to build something. You're maybe not skilled enough to be an owner. So back to my original piece about like that toolbox that we have and going in that toolbox and figuring out, yo, is this an instrument that I can learn? Or is this something that I need to delegate? I need to hire, I need to partner. And I think so many of us, you know, are going into these businesses, not only short of capital, but short of the resources needed intellectually wise to run this business effectively. And I think that's why you see the number of businesses that fail, because like no one taught us how to run businesses.
That's right. That's right. And that goes back to financial literacy, you know, wealth generation, generational wealth, so many things to do with that aspect of it. That's right.
The interesting thing is just like, man, our parents truly did the best they could.
That's right.
But like, if you ask them a question, like they had the encyclopedia, like, and if you had that, you was balling. Like, yo, y'all got the whole volume.
Yeah, absolutely. I was telling my kids about that. Y'all got Google.
Yeah, bro. So for you asking your mom and dad a question, one, they weren't traveling the world like that. They was driving from place to place. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no Google Maps on your phone. They had atlases. You know what I'm saying? The big old paper on the joint, right? And you asking something, yo, I'm gonna tell you what I know. And I'm gonna say it with certainty, so you leave me the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? Right? So no fault to them, but they did the best they could with what they had. And imagine their parents. Their parents didn't even have the encyclopedia.
Right.
So they did the best they could, right? So now when we in this age of information at your fingertips, like you have to take advantage of it. And back to my point about, the rich and the poor, and the rich people want you to know something, they're gonna put inside of a book. Like you have to be relentless about pursuing your education. The same way these rap lyrics and all these TikTok dances, right? The same way you should know what's in the new book that just came out, especially as it pertains to the industry that you're going to be involved in. Because like these dudes play for keeps. Like they out here to destroy you. They want to dominate you. And if you on a court, you on a field, you in track. If the dude next to you like, yo, I'm about to eat your lunch, you gonna want to compete.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And in business, it's the same way. And I feel like we be like, oh, I ain't even gonna run this race, bump my hamstring or something. Like, nah, bro, let's get it. Like, cause I've been training, I've been practicing, I've been putting in the work. So it's really about putting that work and having that confidence and putting those systems in place, really, that you could really come out and operate your business with consistency. And so when people come to you, like, bro, I'm not a black business owner, I'm a business owner. I happen to be black, but I run a significant business.
That's right. Now, at the same time, like you said, you'll definitely, give them a fair shot.
Absolutely.
So I just want to also thank you for giving, these brothers a fair shot to come on,
Absolutely.
Have you on the show. You get what I'm saying? To represent you and to educate, because you took a chance you didn't know.
The thing is, right, for me, like I've been so many places, right? I've been down, I've been up, I've been sideways. Like I've been a walk-on, I've been a captain, I've been a man. I had a bunch of money, I had no money. So I started stuff from scratch. I built things up. So I understand people's journey. And I would never look at someone because we're there on their journey and be like, nah. Like some dudes be like, yo, send me how many podcast listeners you got. You know what I'm saying? Send me the list. And then I have my team look at it, bust it down. But we had the conversation, like I want to be someone that educates our people about the right way, the wrong way to do business. And if, what I've learned through my years could help someone else, man, like that's a part of me serving and doing my job. Right now, we have the ability that through podcasts, through video, audio, I'm just not talking to the people down the street from me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? This thing is global. So for me, anytime I could get impart wisdom and be respectful, ask the question, honest, sincere, man, I want to help.
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's what, like I said, that's what this is about. God is using this as a catalyst, as a vessel, to help educate, like I say, close and narrow that gap, that proverbial gap. You had now I'm going off of memory. You had the opportunity to play for not one, but two African-American coaches, right?
Right. Yep. Coach Dungy and Coach Caldwell.
Yes, sir. So let's get to that for a second. How do you feel about the minority hiring process, not just in the NFL right now, but in sports overall?
I think it's a joke. I mean, you look at the amount of African Americans that make up the leagues, football, basketball in particular, and then how we're represented from a culture standard. I mean, it's the same thing in the school systems. You look at how many African American teachers there are. So I really think, people need a fair shot and a fair opportunity to get this done. And a lot of people, well, you don't have any experience. How am I going to get experience, bro?
We face that every day.
So I think that whole notion, man, is just like we really need to get a job of one doing what I'm doing what you brothers are doing, is just educating people. You might not have their experience, but I do. So let me share you what worked for me, what didn't work for you, and you can come up with your own ideologies on how you're gonna rock. You know what I'm saying, and how you gonna move. And I think the more people that we could do that with, the more people that we could be better represented. But then there's also, like, you know what I'm saying, people don't want to talk about race, or everything's always about race. And I tell, my white friends, I'm like, bro, every day I'm alive, like I know that I'm black. I'm conscious of that. I'm like, I get in my car, bro, tinted windows, rims. I'm black. I see a police officer, I'm 10 and 2.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
You could go right to left real quick. Yeah. I'm in a store, manager peeking over the thing. I got a mask on. I got my gym clothes on. They looking like, yo, is he gonna, like, what's going on? I gotta take my mask. Like, nah, we good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think all those things, like, I'm conscious of, right? And even with the hiring, it's called affinity bias. So affinity bias is like when you have an affinity for people to look like you, and it's one of these unconscious biases, right? So if I ask you to name me your 5 closest friends, your confidants, right? Just name them all, and you think about them. Like, all right, cool. All right, I got my 5. All right, cool. Now name their male or female, name if they're black or white, name their age, and name what they do.
Okay.
Most of them dudes gonna be male, black, black. You know what I'm saying? And do damn near the same thing that you do.
Yep.
So if we're gonna hire someone, we're gonna work with somebody. Who we gonna rock with?
Somebody
like us. Yeah.
So it's the same exact thing, right? So that's why understanding this and taking a look at unconscious bias, it tells us like, hey, let me get outside of my circle and let me see who else has the skills to get this job done.
And one second, Mr. Brackett. One second. So if this question kind of tied into the question about the minority skilled labor company having to underbid to compete. You get what I'm saying? To be able to get these contracts. So they have to they have to offer less even though they are more skilled. You get what I'm saying? Just to be able to keep their company and their dreams afloat. So I'm sorry. So that these kind of tied in together. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I had to bring those and fuse those back.
Yeah. So again, so I think even the barber, right? The $60 example for the barber, right? And you at $20, you still undercutting. So if you're in construction and then you're on any of these skilled labor positions, landscaping, all these type of things, right? All right, cool. So you're looking at other people and you got to underbid. Well, let's model their behavior. Why can they charge a premium price? Let's look online. Oh, they got a website. Oh, their website got SEO. Their website is busting. Oh, they got a Google My Business page. They're on the 3rd page of Google when they come up. Right? This thing is like a business. Like, you know where you had a dead body at? You know the best place I had a dead body at? The 2nd page of Google. Because ain't nobody gonna hit that joint. Right? And if you got a business, you on the 2nd page of Google, bro, ain't nobody finding you.
That's facts.
You don't got a website, you don't got proof of concept, you don't got great pictures, like all the things. Like my barber could charge $60. You know why? Because his spot is hot. He take pictures, he take video, right? He go in there, he got the right equipment. He in shape. He got on a fly, like he got on a $90 shirt button up looking fly to cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, so as a business owner, if you want to charge premium prices, you got to look like you charge premium prices.
Right.
I brought this up because you also, once you went into, into the coaches, you were talking about commonality and familiarity. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the same time, that's a big, thing too when it comes down to these skilled labor and just a regular everyday brother that's trying to get a business up, but competing against familiarity.
But what the owners, what do the black coaches that did get opportunity, what do they all have in common? They were all put together. They were all well spoken. They all had a great resume. They all had great testimonies. They had, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So all these things that you got to present, and you'll be looking at me, like, that's bull, like, that's crazy. Why we gotta do that? And bruh, I ain't write the rules of the game.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do a better job instead of like fighting these rules of the game, understand what the rules are and playing by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't write the rules. This is what's written for all of us. So once you understand these rules, you got to understand how to navigate in this playing field. If I go to your crib, we playing spades, right? So I'm joker, deuce, deuce, you know what I'm saying? Ace, you know what I'm saying? If you don't rock like that, right? I can't come, you making the rules like, we ain't deuce, deuce, we're joker, ace of spade. Yeah. I got to read in my mind, I can't now all of a sudden throw down a deuce of diamond
like what?
Yeah. like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? So I got to play spades the way you play spades.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and that right there is, I think, that's extremely important, because here's the thing, right? As an educator, one of the things that I tell students and whatnot is, I tell them that, listen, one, you play by the rules until you can make them. Right? Yeah. Because the thing is that if you position yourself to make the rules, here's one of the things, and we talk about this in some of our other interviews, is that we a lot of the kids that look like us, what they want to do, they don't think past of what you did for 9 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They think, oh, I'm gonna go to the NFL, I'm gonna be a Hall of Famer, blah blah blah, and that's it. Like we don't talk to them about being executives. We don't talk to them about, hey, let's try to own a team. Let's because you can go to the Hall of Fame as an owner.
Yeah.
And so the thing is I think there has to be, and I'm not saying don't desire to be a player. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But what I'm saying is that we need to start talking more to our kids about being executives. Mm-hmm. Right, about being, whether it's in a sports franchise or Fortune 500 or whatever. Mm-hmm. The thing is that what we have to start pushing them towards that mindset. Right, don't be the rapper, own the company.
Yeah,
rap on your label. Things like that. I mean, all these things we have to push the bar higher. And it's people like yourself. Like, one of the things that I'm just really is the fact that you are a personification of what hard work looks like.
Yeah, all the way through.
Your story. Walk on. What? Then right after got his MBA. What? Personification of what hard work looks like.
Yeah.
So I want to it's interesting, right? And I want to I just figured this out, because I tell people what it takes. People always ask me all the time, hard work. But when you look at successful people, it's more. And it's this personality test, right? And it's called the Hexacle test. And the C in the Hexacle talks about conscientiousness. And on the conscientiousness, it breaks down what it takes to be successful, right? And it's 4 things. The first thing is diligence. So diligence is like hard work. But that's only 25% of what it takes to be successful. The second thing is organization. Are you organized? Are your thoughts organized? Is your car organized? Right? That's going to keep you on track. The third thing, professionalism. Right? Are you doing things the right way every single time? And that's why systems and processes are so important, right? They'll be doing the same things exactly the same way, all the time. And then the last thing is prudence. The prudence is your ability to be wise and make good decisions. Mm-hmm. So when you look at my career, I'm looking back on it, I didn't know that's what it was, but it wasn't just hard work. I was organized. I had a plan. I had a vision. I know the steps that I need to take to get there, right? I wanted to be excellent, right? My coach would always tell me, you tell an average player 1,000 times, you do it once. You tell a great player once, he'll do it 1,000 times. So I always wanted to be that great player, right? And then in terms of the prudence, always trying to be wise about making the decisions and making efficient decisions. And the reason I'm able to do that now is because I have a value systems in place. And if decision isn't according to my values or the lifestyle that I want to live, it's an easy decision for me. So I don't get in this whole thing. So many people get so caught up on yo, is this the right decision? Is this the wrong decision? Maybe so, maybe not, bro. It's so many different variables. You know how many bad decisions you can make right? You know what I'm saying? Or how many good decisions you can make wrong? So it's not only in the decision, it's the work that becomes behind that. And that's why I think looking at hard work and looking at what it takes, just breaking it down like that. When I heard that, I'm just because so many people think hard work, right? And it's bro, I'm not trying to be known as the hardest worker anymore. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on that. Like my goal is not money. My goal is freedom. And I think now realizing like what it takes to get that freedom is really, like I said, those 4 traits is just really going to set me up for success because I know exactly what I want and it's a recipe. I know how to get it done.
Mr. Brackett, hey, I want to thank you, man, for being a pioneer, and a front runner, for bringing our people up and keeping us moving forward, progressing and everything that you're doing and setting yourself as an example of what to follow and what that will get you. All those things, prudence, hard work, dedication, everything will get you. You you have really handled what you have well, and like I said, we just want to thank you. You know, yeah, we follow you, man, and anything that you need from us, we're here for you.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, I talk to us a little bit about the Impact Foundation.
Yeah, the Impact Foundation is a charity I set up for kids, critically and chronic illnesses, and also underprivileged. And I can remember during my first year in the NFL, I actually lost my father and my mother in 8 months, and then my brother was diagnosed with cancer. So my brother was always, we looked like twins. He was 3 years older than me, which was great for me, right? Because essentially when he turned 21, I turned 20.
So did you, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it was sweet. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So first year in the league, second year, I get a call like, yo, your brother has cancer. He needs a bone marrow transplant. So of course we look alike, same build, same height. So we all our siblings go. I'm the match. And it happens like during second year training camp. I'm still trying to make the team, and they get a call like, "Yo, it's now or never. Like it's dire need. Like you need to be home like tomorrow." So I talked to Coach Dungy. He said, "Family comes first." He was a man of his word. I went home and I got all these nutrition shots, right? And then I got on a machine and got him a bone marrow transplant. And during that process, we're talking, but then I go see him actually receive chemo. Right. And we it's like the man complained he had no shoes until he met the man with no feet. So I'm complaining about these nutrition shots and me feeling like the flu. And this man got cancer. So then walking back from cancer and treatment to his room, there's a bunch of kids on this floor that were alone. I'm like, where everybody at? Like, they're like, yo, they like 3 hours away, single parent, or cancer is expensive. Like these kids are here fighting for their lives and literally their families are too, right? Their finances are gone. Mom had to quit their job. And I was just like, man, I'm naive at that point. Like, man, if I could ever get back to any area, I knew how I feel, it would be this area right here. So we started a foundation. And man, I think to our credit, over the last, man, how long has it been now? 2006, like 15 years we've been rocking. So probably raised over $1 million and helped over 200,000 residents here in Indiana. In terms of with our programs, we have a luncheon for moms. We have programs inside the hospitals. We do different type of Field of Dreams events where we take families, entire families, to like their dream events and amusement parks and baseball, football games. So, man, I just been blessed to be a blessing. And I think, my biggest joy in life is to be able to serve and to pass on, right? And that's what my legacy to be. That man, that like he gave it all in every area of his life. So I'm proud to have that foundation, man. It's something that, I think at the end of the day, like they forget the stats. They forget that I had a circle around me in Madden and I was nice, you know what I'm saying? Like with my 88 score, right?
Yes, sir.
But that kid,
I won't forget though.
Hey,
you don't have to worry about me
forgetting. You gonna get old, man. We're gonna have to mention. We're gonna be like that. I'm saying.
Hey, you don't have to worry about that. I remember.
Those kids, no smiles, man. Those things are gonna last a lifetime, right? And I think people forget what you said. They definitely don't forget how you make them feel. So.
Never forget how you make them feel.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever have plans on expanding it from the Indianapolis area?
I haven't, man, just because it's time consuming. Like if you're ever part of a charity, bro, it's sometimes they forget it's the nonprofit. I don't get paid. I gotta raise money to give it all out, right? So it's just time consuming, right? But I think now my mission just with online training and teaching, I think my mission now, obviously in addition to the sick kids, but I think my passion now is just helping, the younger version of me, the young CEO, entrepreneur.
There we go.
That has a desire, right? And for me, Like I got a bunch of digital programs, GaryBrackett.com. I got a program called The Champion You that kind of teaches you the 7 pillars, how to be a champion in your life. I got a program that talk about championship grit and how to overcome obstacles that come to your life. I got a fitness program, right? So each one of those pillars, I'm designing programs, and eventually I'm going to have an academy where all these programs are going to be housed inside of this academy, this group, think type of thing. And I'm just going to share all the wisdom, all the gain, have my friends come in. And I think that's what it is. I think at the end of the day, right, we look at the disparities between African Americans and other races. Financial, yes, huge financial disparity. The bigger disparity in my mind is the knowledge gap.
That's right.
And until we close that knowledge gap, bro, we're not going to be able to close any of these other gaps. So it starts with knowledge. We have to be able to educate these people and really edutainment. Like they listen to the professors. All right, turn to page 22, please. And when they read you this, like, bro, like, all right, like, did you ever do that? No, but this is what it says. Like, you know what I'm saying? So rolling from like real life people, like failures, mistakes, things that I did great, company I keep, all those things I kind of share within my courses. And really, I think, information, man, is really, if you want a cheat code, like you want a cheat code, get your coach, get your mentor whenever you can afford it. Start reading books, one a week, or as many as you can. And I think you'll get to where you want to go a lot faster by using that accumulated knowledge and by modeling other people that came before you.
Right. See, that right there is the up, down, left, right, BA, start. See, a lot of them gonna catch that, but right. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Code.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're gonna let you get out of here, but yeah, that's our intention, man, to narrow the gap where the information is not equally distributed. Edutainment, you know what I'm saying? So let's get somebody that had the circle around him in Madden. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Now listen to him and what else he went through. You get what I'm saying? And how it can help you. That's what it's about. Well, thank you, Mr. Brackett, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me on, man.
Enjoyed a great conversation.
It was a pleasure and a blessing.
Sure,
all right, guys, man. Be well, friend. All right.
Yeah, man, that was a good conversation. Good wholesome conversation. Yep.
Man, look. Telling you, man, that man just he broadened our base.
Yes.
In that one show.
Extremely.
I mean, like I said, I remember, bro, I used to wreck shop with man. Are you kidding me?
Hey, yeah, but then you got Mathis and Freeney too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. But like I say, what he's been doing post NFL career, that's been monumental, man. You can't miss it. It jumps it over his illustrious football career. What he's doing business-wise, and everything is based on giving back. It's such an unselfish platform that you really don't get in a lot of cases when you're dealing with a lot of people. But you can tell that his mission, is directed towards the betterment and amelioration of everybody, of people.
Absolutely. And I think we hit on some points, man, that are really going to be, honestly, we hit on some points that's going to help me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, definitely. Our audience is definitely going to see a benefit in it, and it's cool because it hit the stuff we talked about, right? It hits the young athlete, to the parent, to some people who don't even have kids, who was never even an athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
So, man, that was an amazing interview.
Amazing interview. Hey,
great job, Coach.
Great job, Professor. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Another incredible show. All right, take it easy, y'all. Thanks for joining us. Peace.